Instagram.
Okay, you're live on both.
Okay, so I'll do my little song. Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome, Fremde, étrangers, strangers. Glücklich zu sehen, je suis enchanté. Happy to see you, bleibe, reste, stay. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but this is from the movie Cabaret with Lisa Minnelli, which is a great movie that I love. So, hi everybody. Thank you for watching. This is my basement cell number 3. What is a basement cell? It's basically, I've accumulated so many paintings over the years. My name is Mathieu. I'm a painter. You most probably know me. So I've been painting since I was 17 years old. So that's like 21 years of painting between 40 to 80 pieces a year. So that's a lot of works. And at first, when I began, I wasn't selling all my works. Well, I'm not selling everything right now, but most of them, yes. So at first, I wasn't selling that much. It was more difficult. So I accumulated all these paintings from over the years, and of course I destroyed some of them. I made a selection, and I learned so much just by painting them. I went through different styles. It's really incredible. You wouldn't recognize me if you saw these paintings somewhere. So I want to show them to you because a lot of them are really good. They're really nice. It was really a pleasure to rediscover them, take them from the storage, and look at them. So I want to show them to you and also offer them to you at a very low price, like something really ridiculous. I mean, if I have a couple $100 for each of the pieces, I'll be happy. As long as it hangs on your wall, that you're happy with it, you love it, you have a crush on it, or you have a special connection to either the subject, the way it's painted, or just because it's one of my works. Yes, because my originals right now range from 1,000, the very small piece, to 20,000 for the large wall size paintings. So that's pretty expensive. Not everyone has this budget. So these older works, I let them go for a few $100s. So that's really, really interesting if you want to start a collection or you just love the piece. So that's it. So I selected a few 15 works to show you today. The way it works is you can, if you're interested, just write a comment, message me, email me, whatever, every way is good. Just tell me you're interested. It's first come, first serve. So, so don't think too much. We already sold 13 pieces in the last week. So on my website, there's a page. It's called Basement Sale. You have, 60, 70 paintings that are available there. The ones that I have right now are also on the page, but I managed to bring some surprises. So there are some that are not on the website, but it's good to go see the website and just shop whatever you like. What else can I say? Oh yeah. So I thought it would be more difficult to sell larger pieces because, the large pieces, they need a crate to be shipped. For instance, in the US or Europe or whatever. And the crate itself, even if I sell the painting a few $100s, the crate is a few $100s and then the shipping is a few $100s. So in the end, it ends up being expensive. But really, it's not because the work itself is sold at a really, really low price. So I thought that because the large works would be more expensive, they wouldn't sell. But I sold, I think it's 6 or 7 really large ones recently. So it's not a problem. It seems people are happy to pay the shipping. There's also the option of sending the piece rolled, but I wouldn't recommend. You can only do that if there's not that much texture on it. And also it's a lot of work for you to restretch it, to have the stretcher restretch it. Unless you're an artist or a framer, I would just recommend to buy it stretched in a crate, and it's ready to hang. So Patrick, my friend Patrick is also on this video, but he's like in the shadows. Say hi, Patrick.
Hey, you guys. I think you're ready to roll.
Okay. So did you ask people like where they're from and everything?
Yep. We have some Mexico, some Montana. You got some people from France. Obviously they can't tell you on Instagram, but they're certainly telling you on Facebook. So yeah. Okay. You're good to go.
I know there was someone in France who wanted to watch. I don't know if he's watching. If you are Nissan watching, je te salue, because it's late there. So I'll just begin with the first one. I'll move from the small one to the bigger ones. First one is this mask that you might have seen on Instagram or Facebook. So it's a mask from Bali. I was obsessed with masks at one point, and I did a series. Just kind of bring it closer so you can see it more. It's a bit scary. So, I'm interested in portraits and faces, and masks. Masks are like fantasy faces. I don't know how I can say that in English. It's just interesting because, it changes who you are. So, nice little piece, very colorful. It's from 2009. So, this is available. It's scary masks from Bali. Number 2, that was number 1. Yeah, I have to
change the number.
Yeah. So this is number 2. The numbers are just for reference for Instagram, because if you tell me which title, sometimes they have the same title. So to avoid any confusion, just tell me which number. This was number 1. Number 2 is a self-portrait. Looking above. At one point I painted saints, and saints have this halo and they're looking above, like something transcendent or something spiritual. So I guess it had an influence on my self-portrait. On this.
And Matthew, what's your website address if people want to check out the works on the website?
What's my website? Well, if you type mathieulaca.com, you'll arrive on my blog, and then there's a shop section which directs you to my website. So, and on the website, it's the basement sale. It's in the tabs above. So just type mathieulaca.com and shop, and you'll arrive there. So this was number 2. Number 3 is a portrait of Jean, my husband. This one has a lot of texture. I put a varnish on this part here yesterday, so it's deeper. But I don't know if you can see here. It's really textured.
Yeah, it's showing.
There's a great deal of movement. It's as if he's traveling in time, as if he was, seen from a train window. I like doing works with this very horizontal movement. I do that. I still do that. And this one has the texture. Instead of having it on the face, it has it in the background. So it's a nice piece, and it's framed. I believe it's cherry wood. It's a really hard wood. So this was number 3. Let's move on. And feel free to ask any questions in French, in English, or even in German. I guess I could try. I mean, my German is elementary, but Robin on black background. Sorry. So this is a very vertical piece. It's really rare that I do such vertical pieces. So there's a great deal of vertical movement in it. It's as if the spirit is coming out of it, or maybe the singing. I love the song of this bird. It's the most common bird here. Do you have some in California, Patrick?
Yeah, we do. Well, yeah, we do.
There was one in the street that died recently, and I painted it. I just took a photo and painted it. So
change the number.
Yeah. Number 5. So this is from the series of my old masters. This is a portrait of Greco, the Greek Baroque painter. There's no known image of Greco, so I really had to speculate in my portrait. So I basically did, I painted him as one of his characters that are so typical of him. If you know him, you know that he used to paint this bird and this mustache, and so I guess it would be close from what he looked like. It's an incredible painter. Really, he had a really personal style, which was it had a great influence on the German expressionist painter. So if you know a bit about art history. So, and
Matthew, you have a question from James Orchard. Is it hard to sell your art, or do you get attached to your pieces?
Some of them I have a sentimental attachment because of the subject. For instance, my dog is really old, and we know he's not gonna live very long, a few months maybe. So I painted his portrait recently, so it becomes a kind of memorial for my dog. So after he passes away, So these pieces, there's a sentimental attachment to them, and when I paint them, I know I paint them for myself or for my family. So these pieces are different, but aside from that, any work, no. Of course there is sentimental attachment because I invest in every one of them, but I'm not attached to the point that I want to keep them. Even the works that I find are the most successful, I want them to be seen, to be hung in places, to be exhibited. I want them to live their own life. I mean, you have to detach yourself from your works. I guess that's a question from an artist. You have to let go, and because you need the room, you need to paint more, paint better, do it better. So no, I'm not really attached. I preferred my works to be all over the place, and especially the good ones. I mean, you want to be seen for your best painting. So this is from the series of my old masters portraits. I believe I have another one, but I only have a few left. What was special about this series is that I only used pigments that they would use in this era, in the Baroque period. So it cost me so much. I had to order paint tubes from a place in California. They make paint for restorers, because restorers, when they restore a painting, they use the same pigments so that the color is the same as these old paintings. So, for instance, the blue there, it's lapis lazuli, which is a semi-precious stone only found in Afghanistan, and so the tube was really expensive, and the color is really, really nice. I mean, it's a nice blue, but it's not as strong as the pigments we have now, which are really, fluorescent or really, really striking. So that's why this series has a lot of earth tones and more muted colors. But everything that I chose was according to the colors that were available in El Greco's era. And what was really great was that when I painted the piece, I was feeling like, okay, so this color, this precise hue, this is something that El Greco would have seen on his palette, which is a really great feeling. I mean, you're doing the same thing as he was. So that was El Greco. Now moving a bit in time, we have a portrait of Gustave Courbet.
Change the number for the chance.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks for reminding me. Gustave Courbet, great French painter with his pipe. So this one, you see what I did in several pieces, a kind of explosion on the side, which gives a lot of movement, and it also directs the gaze towards the eyes. It's a bit of a moody portrait. So this piece is also available if you want Courbet on your wall, your own Courbet. Now let's move in artistry. And sculptor Louise Bourgeois, French and American sculptor. Do you know this sculptor, Patrick?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen the really large spider sculptures outside museums?
He was the spider guy.
She was the spider guy, yeah.
He was the spider guy. Wow. Well, Louise, sorry. I hacked her name there, Louise.
Yeah, they're called Mama, mother in French. So she's a really, really interesting artist. She used all sorts of mediums. So because she's a sculptor, I decided to portray her with this hand raised. Made sense.
This one's framed too. What's the frame?
Yeah, it's also cherry wood. It's hardwood. It's really heavy. I don't know if someone buys it, if they really want the frame, I will send it to them, but it's really heavy. So and there starts to be texture there. So this is from 2013, so it's only 7 years. Well, 7 years ago, it's starting to happen.
The start of your texture period.
Yeah. So we're moving to number 8. Another woman artist, Paula Rego, which is a painter, a really interesting figurative painter also. I find she's a bit like Balthus. She paints these sort of childish tales, but there's always a kind of sexual element to them, which makes them uncomforting. So.
What's going on? What's going on with her expression in this?
She's just looking above. You mean the open mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's grasping for air. I did a series of women artists. That was from this exhibition. It was called Self-Portrait as a Woman. And I painted myself also with long hair and as a woman. Because I had the comment that I was always painting guys and dead guys. So I did a show of, women artists that I admire. And so that was my response. But it was not a really strong criticism. It was just a friendly reminder. So let's move on to number 9. That's Nicolas de Staël. I'm sure you can recognize him. Well, it's not really him. I mean, it started maybe as him, but it's a very abstract and expressionistic image, which I still like because, it just works as an image. It's really striking.
Yeah.
You see all the styles that I went through. It's incredible. Huh?
No,
some are really colorful, full like 10 people in one painting, and some are more. And I even have abstract works. A few of them, very few, but I do. Well, when I was in university, I tried everything, so that explains. And it's good to try everything. I mean, it influences you. You
Grow.
pick up. Yeah, I don't know how close I can get. Maybe that's too much. Okay, so that was number 9. Sort of abstract Nicolas de Staël portrait. Moving towards the larger ones. This one, I don't know if it will show well because it's really gray and there's not that much contrast.
Okay.
It's called Gas Station. It's a gas station in a forest. And there's a couple there dressed like turn of the 20th century, maybe.
Maybe hold it up a little bit more so it's a little bit higher. Yeah, you kind of need to cover your face. Yeah, there you
go. So I don't know if you can see the gas station in the background.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of an anachronistic image, if you wish. Do you have this word in English, Patrick?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Because the way they're dressed and the gas station and also this forest that grew in the gas station. So, yeah, it was part of a series I did on oil. And it was a bit dark and, there's one image that you'll see, which is also dark. But this one I painted after seeing a landscape by Van Gogh, which had this couple walking in the forest, which was very, very mysterious. And I wanted to do something similar, horizontal image with the tree trunks and have this kind of mystery to it. So that's why it's very sort of blurry gray and the couple is like ghosts, it's just a silhouette, a white silhouette.
What size is that one?
That's 3 by 4 feet. So
Okay.
36 by 48 inches. And I really painted nothing like this one, so it's a really unique piece if you're interested. So let's move on. That was number 10. From the same series, I have this self-portrait in oil. So this one is more colorful and has more contrast. The expression is when I painted this self-portrait, I took some pictures of myself with how do you say that in English? Mélasse. You know what it is?
No, molasses? What? Molasses?
Yeah, molasses. Because it really looks like oil.
Yeah.
And then I had to take a shower. It was so sticky. It was incredible.
Yeah. Rule number 1, don't put syrup on your face.
Yeah, in the eyelids. It was terrible. But I really loved like the brown, sort of reddish color of the molasses with this blue, the contrast between this reddish brown and the blue, sort of turquoise blue. Mm-hmm. And the way you can see in there's reflection in the molasses of this blue. This is what I liked about it. So if you can stand
stop right there and hold
Okay.
it up a little bit. Yeah, that's it. It looks awesome with the blue. The blue is really striking.
Okay, so I still have one other piece from this series on oil, which is
just to let you know, Colin Broderick wants
which one?
Colin Broderick wants El Greco.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he already bought the Rubens from that series. Hi, Colin. Is he on Instagram? Because he can join and talk if he wants. Just released it. So this is one from the series also on oil, baptism in oil. Dark. I have a collector, a really good collector, really nice guy. He's a priest, but he's not, the usual kind of priest. He's really open-minded, and he's a great guy. And this one gives him nightmares. I'm just gonna show you the details.
Yeah, a lot of texture in this one.
Yeah. So this is also the same size, 36 by 48, or 48 by 46. Now number 13 is on the wall. It's that brown Booby that I painted in a photorealistic style. That was 15 years ago. It's incredible.
This one looks so good on the stream. The colors, like the detail.
Yeah, it's because it's a photorealistic painting. So because it's really sharp, like on the beak there, and it's sort of fuzzy in the background. So when you see it on the photograph, it's even more, realistic. So if you like that piece, it's really strange for me to see these pieces because I can't figure out like what was I thinking when I decided to paint this. And
is this one oil or acrylic?
No, it's oil. I used acrylic at first, like in the first 2 or 3 years that I painted, and I switched to oil really fast. It suits my way of painting more.
A couple of questions. One, Ray said that he wanted El Greco, so you should just say it's first come, first serve. So, if you look into the messages and Ray was before Colin, you sort of have to honor that.
Yeah.
That's number one. And then number two, it says, do you have anything similar to your recent flowers available? That's a question. And then will all of these be put on the website after the fact?
All of these, yeah. Most of them are already on my website in the basement sales section, but the ones that are not, I will add them, yeah, for sure. And I think I did a tour of my basement, and I think I have like 50 or 60 pieces that I still want to add. So there will be more choice later on. About the flowers.
By the way, I'm now informed by Colin that Ray is his wife. And so it seems the bidding war is inside his household. Can't help you with that one, Ray. Can't help you with that one, Colin.
Don't fight.
Yeah, sorry, Colin's wife is right. But that was
they can hang they have the Rubens already, so they can hang them together. So that's a good choice. I really love this piece from this series. I think it's my favorite. The El Greco. I'm just gonna show it again. About the flowers, yes, I just recently painted these Anthurium. I have these Anthurium in the studio, which I find really nice. They're really sexy flowers. It's like a penis inside a vagina. So I painted them, but it's really more expensive because they're recent works. I had them really nicely framed, and I sent them to the Thompson Laundry Gallery in Toronto. So if you're interested in that piece, just go on their website, Thompson Laundry Gallery in Toronto, and they're really nice people. So that was number 13. As a teenager, I was obsessed with birds. I mean, that's why I painted so many birds. I guess it's for the same reason as everyone. Birds seem to be free, and but we know they're not free. I mean, they always fly in the same. They have path, and they go to feed and stuff like that. But in our primate eye, it looks like they're free. So that's why I was so. I mean, probably because as a teenager I was so desperate and unhappy that's why I was so much interested in birds. So move on. Number 14. So this is a more resemblant portrait of Nicolas de Staël, I guess.
And who was Nicolas de Staël?
Oh, he was a French painter. Really, really good painter, sort of on the edge of abstraction and figuration. Really interesting painter to see, and I really had a crush on him. And when I was a teen, I read the novels by Albert Camus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right? Okay. So all the covers were paintings of Nicolas de Staël, and so I had like a double crush, both on Camus' writing and on Nicolas de Staël's works that were on the covers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when I decided I wanted to be a painter and I wanted to write also. So this was like my first, like, this is where I understood what art was about, with Nicolas de Staël and Albert Camus sort of together on Camus' books. So here's a portrait of him. Not life-size, but almost. This was painted in what year? 2012, so not too long ago. Nicolas de Staël had a sort of tragic ending to his life. He had his heart was broken by a married woman, and when he was rejected, he one day after working in his studio, just climbed the stairs to the terrace and he jumped, and so he committed suicide. So it was a tragic figure, but his paintings are really luminous, very colorful. There's no one like him to balance colors and nuances. It's really a pleasure for the eye. So really love this guy if you want to check him out. I realized I just paint portraits of people I like, you know, people I admire. That's pretty much all I do.
Matthew, you have a question here. Since the El Greco is gone, do you have any other additional pieces from that particular series?
Well, there's a Courbet one, which is the same series, same size, same pigments. Aside from that, I don't think so. That's pretty much the last one. It's funny because they're all over the place. There's one that I sold in Norway. My mother has one. She has the Rembrandt, which is a really nice one. I sent one to Florida recently. So. Let's move on to number 15.
Okay.
Number 15 is a portrait of Jean, my husband. I painted like so many portraits of him. It's incredible. When I do a search in my catalog, like I have 40 or 50 results. This one, I really love it. Love the colors, love the movement in it. I think it's really well painted. There's a lot of texture in the background too. The eye is really good. So I wouldn't be disappointed if I didn't sell that one. I would just keep it. But still, if someone is interested, I'm ready to let it go.
Yeah, the detail's phenomenal on that one.
So that was the last one, but I have one extra. I don't know if Instagram or Facebook will censor my video. They do censor my posts sometimes, but this one is kind of funny, so I wanted to show it. It's called Pinocchia, so it's like Pinocchio, but
We'll just assume that's a long nose for the time being.
yeah. So it's kind of a funny. It's from the Mask series. It's painted on canvas, but the canvas is sort of loose, so it's framed as if it was on paper. So there's a mat and a little frame, and I have a few of them. So probably in my next basement sale, I will show more from these masks. People could also buy a few of them and just do a series on the wall. Would be nice.
Cool.
If you're okay with the subject matter. It's a conversation piece.
That's for sure.
All right, so that's it. That's the harvest for today. I still have a lot of pieces to show, but I can only show a few at a time. So as I said, there's a page on my website. We should probably post the link in the comments.
Yeah.
There's a tab called Basement Sale, and you have like 60 pieces there that are available. And I will add some more in the future. So if you're interested in these, let them go for a ridiculous amount of money, $200, $300, $500, just so I have something. And so I hope you enjoy this little show, this little slideshow of my life from the 20 years of painting. Of course, I have much more to show, but thanks for your interest in following me. And I wish I could just show them to you personally and talk to you, but I mean, it's better than nothing. So have a nice evening. Yeah.
You should do the videos are going to live on your Facebook page, and you'll save.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So the video will live on my Facebook page. It will also be archived in my YouTube channel. It will be also on Instagram. Can we do an IGTV with this on Instagram? Is it too long?
Just save it. Yep, you just save it afterwards. You'll have the option.
Okay, so it will be archived either on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, so you can watch it later. Also, you can email me, message me if you want to know more in terms of shipping. What are the options? If you want to see other pieces in a certain style from a series or another series, so just message me. All right, thank you, everyone. I love you. Thanks for following me. Have a nice evening. Thank you, Patrick, for helping me.
My pleasure. It's always fun to help you, man. Okay. Bye, Matthew.
Bye.